Navy!
What, Olive?
Olive wants a cheeseburger!
Fine. What ingredients do you want on it, and where would you like them from?
Okay, the bun must be brioche from France. The patty should be Japanese A5 Wagyu. And the tomatoes should be San Marzano's tomatoes from southern Italy.
What about the lettuce?
Olive will pick a wild card this time. How about the eastern DRC, perhaps near the city of Goma on the Rwandan border?
Well, we have a Wagyu cow and San Marzano tomatoes and brioche, so I guess we just need the lettuce. However, venturing into the eastern Congo is quite dangerous, so I don't recommend it. I'll think about it. Well, I've made up my mind. Olive, get in the boat. This will cost you 516.3 futons.
Wait, why is this a bad idea?
Just go.
So, why is this not a good idea? Olive needs reasons, Navy.
Well, there's loads of corruption, the economy is catabolic, and it's super decentralized.
Navy, you're usually a good storyteller. This story is too hard for me to understand.
Fine. I guess we'll start from the beginning. This is the Kingdom of Congo, the pre-colonial Congo. It was a very unfair society. One thing you have to understand is that the Congo is one of the most resource-rich regions on Earth, and has rare materials like copper, cobalt, gold, diamonds, and zinc. So anyone in charge of the Congo has a very big incentive to steal the wealth for themselves. Like I said, the Kingdom of Congo was ruled by a king. The king would make you collect resources so he could sell them for the benefit of himself only. If you couldn't collect for any reason, you'd be sold to the Arabs as a slave.
But Olive thought it was only the Belgians who screwed up the Congo.
I'll get to that. Where was I? Oh yeah, Kingdom of Congo. The year is 1482.
King Nakuru, I found people on the color of cassava. Who are you?
Este Comdus?
Someone get me to Pepsi.
Do you want guns, God, or to be enslaved?
Guns?
Yeah, it's the thing that shoots scary things. We love it. It makes people do what you want. You can have them if you become Christian, speak Portuguese, and change your names to Portuguese.
I have tons of slaves. You can have them if you want.
OMG, really?
Yes.
Besties?
Yes.
Eee! As you can imagine, guns made the situation for the average Congolese much worse.
Yeah, these guys sound meaner than pink and maroon combined did. Olive knows for a fact that the Belgians get involved. When do they come?
Soon, Olive. Soon.
I've gathered you here today to decide the fate of hundreds of millions of people. France has West Africa, Portugal has their islands, Angola and Mozambique. The UK has Nigeria, the Gold Coast, South Africa, and much of East Africa. And I have Namibia and Tanganyika. So that leaves one big rad piece of land, the Congo.
Ooh, give it to me! I want it! Oh, give it to me! I want it!
It would be unfair if anyone had it, because it would make only one of us too powerful. Belgium has no land. What if it was theirs?
Well, then Belgium would be too powerful. What if it was just personal property of King Leopold II of Belgium? He is a humanitarian after all. All in agreement?
Aye.
Now the Congo was colonized by Leopold himself, and the horrors had only just begun.
Olive scared.
You should be. Hey, what did I say? No olives with the blanket.
But Olive's scared.
Fine. Where was I? Oh yeah, his reign was successful in one thing and one thing only, destroying the Congo forever. His system revolved around the quota system. If you didn't bring in a certain amount of rubber by the end of the day, then your right hand would be cut off. There was mass graves, killing, abuse, torture. If you thought that was scary, here's something worse. May I unproudly present the Force Publique. It was like a mercenary group and the police had a baby. They were the ones who punished and controlled everything. They had a system of knowing if you had used a bullet or hadn't collected enough. If you were to not collect enough rubber or ivory, they would shoot you. The white colonial officers need to know that you weren't wasting bullets, so they need the right hand of anyone you killed. Because most people barely had food, they used bullets to hunt and later cut off someone else's hand as proof. This turned right hands into a currency. Some estimates say that the Congo's population was cut in half.
And how did you get here? Olive's gonna tell Navy.
Can I bribe you with some hands? Eventually, two British journalists found out what was happening. E.D. Morel and Roger Casement. They gathered international support against the Congo Free State and Leopold himself.
Did you have slaves in the Congo?
No.
Did you torture anyone in the Congo?
No.
Then what's this?
I don't know.
Look, we're doing the same thing, but holy, you took it too far.
Chill, whoa, chill. Look, if you shut up about this, then I'll sell it to Belgium.
Hold me.
The Congo remained in a very similar situation, just not as genocide. The Belgians basically left overnight, leaving little leadership in the Congo. Patrice Lumumba was elected the first president of the Republic of the Congo, which was also the name of its western neighbor. They were distinguished by the names of their capitals, for example, Congo Leopoldville and Congo Brazzaville. The CIA thought Lumumba was sucking up to the Soviets, so he was assassinated by a combination of CIA and Belgian forces. This left the Congo in a state of crisis called the Congo Crisis. It was a combination of gang wars and coups, and because it had precious materials, the US and Soviets were sending aid, turning it into a proxy war. Hey guys, what's up? I have a plan to end all instability. All I need is for everyone to chill out. The last thing we need is foreign powers meddling in our business. Well, that's just great. He probably wasn't as loyal to the Soviets as they thought, but this is the 1960s, so it seemed that way to them. Lumumba also inherited the Congo crisis, which is something unsolvable for most people. Malcolm X even stated that Mobutu Sese Seko came to power in 1965, and in a CIA-enforced coup. Mobutu ruled the now Zaire with an iron fist, killing any opposition. This was not far from the worst he did. During the 32 years he was in power, he was sending aid to the country to keep the Soviets out. Mobutu took the money for himself and spent it on luxury trips to Europe. He crashed the economy, had a secret police called the DSP, was super corrupt, and created regional instability. This all ended when the USSR collapsed, and the US felt there was no reason to continue providing aid to Mobutu's government. All this time, people were ready for a change of scene.
Olive is ready for a change of scene. Sing me a song, but don't end your story.
So you want me to turn my story into a song?
Absolutely no, Olive. The Rwandan genocide is a very serious subject, and we can't turn it into a song. The Rwandan genocide is a very complex subject, so I'll have to oversimplify it for you. Basically, there are two main ethnic groups in Rwanda, the Tutsis and the Hutus. The Tutsis were in power for the most of the history, but in 1994, a Hutu president came to power and wanted revenge, so he waged a genocide against the Tutsi, and there were mass graves and famines galore. To be honest, they were practically a war.
Olive was saddened by that song, and you're saying it happened.
What are you on, Olive? I didn't even sing a song. Anyway, the spill over the Rwandan genocide would end up starting the First Congo War.
The Hutus just massacred a bunch of my people, and I want revenge. The Hutus went across the border. Can I go hunt them down?
Let me think about it. No.
Well, screw you! I'm gonna go fund Kabila and the AFDL to overthrow you. How you like that, you filthy pig?
Oh, well, what's he gonna do? He's no match for me, Mobutu Seko, Kuku Mbendu Wazabanga, the warrior who leaves a trail of fire in his path.
Hey!
You scared me.
I've been massacring along the Congo River until I got here. So surprise!
You've been doing that for years now. What changed?
Well, you wouldn't let Kagame kill Hutus, so Rwanda and Uganda funded me to kill them for him. And maybe kill you too.
What?
What?
This is a good time to flee to Morocco. See you never. Bye! Mobutu died a year later, and with him, the First Congo War. Kabila took power in Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC. One thing I didn't mention is that Rwanda and Uganda had sent troops to Kinshasa, the capital, to support Kabila, and the Congolese people weren't happy about them. This would lead to the beginning of the Second Congo War.
Look, people don't really like you, so maybe get out of Kinshasa, please.
No!
Alright, well, you have 24 hours to get out or you're dead.
You're a jerk for kicking us out like that. We're gonna go fund the Rally for Congolese Democracy, or RCD, and we're gonna help them overthrow you with our army. Shoot.
Apparently, you fired this guy named James Kaberbe, and he's gonna take you down.
And how will he do that? Huh?
Well,
Oh, hold on a second. Let me call my friends. Yeah, Zimbabwe. Yeah. You can send fighter jets and tanks and 800 soldiers. That's pretty rad of you. All right, see you there.
well, we're sending more and more troops to Kinshasa by the day.
Oh yeah. Hold on a sec. Let me call another friend. Yeah, Angola. Yeah. Before the war, we made a deal about you protecting me. Remember? You can take back Katona Airport and send 2,500 troops. Great, bye. Where were we, huh?
As it turned out, the Zimbabweans' air support was very vital in some battles, and the Angolans were useful too. They ransacked villages more brutally than the Rwandans had, and while Kaberbe was marching, he decided to hijack the Grand Igna Dam, so there was no power in Kinshasa.
Olive has one question for you. Who's the good guy?
They're all bad guys.
That's not how stories work, Navy. Are you stupid?
Don't call me that, you dim-witted, putrid, filthy buffoon! And yes, that's not how stories work. But history... Now,
Olive does not comprehend the question you just asked because he doesn't have enough neurons.
I'm glad you feel that way. Where was I? Now that Kabila had help from Zimbabwe and Angola, they trapped Kaberbe between the dense jungle and the Congo River. Angola even took back the Inga dams. Even though he was surrounded on all sides, Kaberbe continued his march toward Kinshasa. When they got there, they waged an intense battle to try and take the airport on the edge of the city. They ended up with only partial control of the airfields. Zimbabwe joined on the second day to provide air support, which sent the Rwandans fleeing south. For the next few days of battle, they were struck in a trench warfare before Kaberbe and the Rwandans gave up and fled into the jungle.
Olive wonders if this is basically the African version of Saving Private Ryan.
Really, Olive? Well, as it turns out, they would nickname this the Second Congo War as the African World War because it was the biggest war since World War II. Where were we? Oh yeah, Kaberbe was trapped. To the north lay Kabila, to the west lay Angolan troops in Katona, and to the east lay the dense jungle. So in a desperate attempt to get out alive, he went south towards the Angolan border. While the Angolan troops were busy taking back the Inga dams, Kaberbe captured an airport outside of the Angolan town of Makela de Zombo. For the next month, the Rwandans built an airstrip long enough into the airfield, while simultaneously. After this was when a whole lot more African countries joined to fight for their interests.
Olive is confused on who is fighting who.
Good question. Well, on the defending side, we have DRC, Zimbabwe, and Angola, and Chad, Sudan, and Namibia joined soon after. In fact, the troops from Chad were so aggressive that local and international pressure forced them to exit the war, just weeks after entering. And on the invading side, we have Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi, plus all the rebel groups Kagame was supporting. From this point on, the war became a bloody stalemate until something happened no one saw coming. Olive, let me ask you a question. What do you remember about your childhood?
Olive doesn't even remember why he's on his boat. So how is Olive supposed to remember anything that happened years ago?
Well, imagine being abducted and forced into the army because your parents needed money, so they sold you.
Olive thinks that's a little very mean.
And then you fight till you're 30 and have PTSD from being abused. Well, in the Congo, they're called Kadogos, which is Swahili for little ones. There were apparently more than 10,000 Kadogos serving in the Second Congo War. These were the atrocities that shook the world. People wanted an end to the war, and they signed some ceasefires, but both sides started calling out the other side for breaking it. So the war raged on, but one day, the war took a turn no one saw coming. On January 16th, 2001, stomach. Place.
Hey,
UN over there is making a sign. So let me fill you in on how this works, okay? So we signed the treaty. Both of us break the treaty, and then blame each other for breaking the treaty, and then we go back to fighting. Got it?
Yeah, bro. What if we just, stopped fighting?
I have never heard
The Second Congo War officially ended in 2019. Felix Tshisekedi was the first fairly elected president since Lumumba back in 1960. Kabila II is currently on the run for plotting to kill Tshisekedi and supporting M23. As for the excessive amounts of materials, they're working with Zambia to create electric cars.
What in almond stuffed, fetus stuffed Kalamata olives is M23?
M23 stands for the March 23rd movement. It's basically a militant group funded by Kagame. They wreak havoc near the city of Goma and the Rwandan border, which is exactly where you wanted your lettuce for your burger. And we're here. So, how about you get out of the boat so we can go home?
Olive is scared, but he will be brave. Okay, can I get some lettuce? Yeah, what, 5 croutons? Okay. You know what? I'll buy all the lettuce so everyone can have some. And it's being fought over. Okay, whatever. Maybe Olive should have listened to Navy's story. There's always next time, so late, yeah.